The Game Week 7 deadline is nearly here, and in today's video we'll be going through everything you need to know before selecting your final team for Fantasy EFL in this game week. Before we get into today's video, please be sure to like and subscribe. The support does not go unnoticed, and as I say, every game week I will be posting Fantasy EFL content across the new season on my YouTube and my Twitter. Moving on to the game week preview then, we are going to skip the teams to target segment in today's video. I won't have enough time to edit and release this video before the game on the Friday if I do include the teams to target segment. And I do think the clean sheet odds, the probability of keeping a clean sheet for Fantasy EFL players is more informative than the teams to target segment. So we're going to go ahead with those odds. But if you do want to see content like the teams to target, there is a load of that on Twitter, and be sure to have a look at that. Here we are. This is the top 8 for League 1, League 2 and the second tier. At top we have West Brom at home to Derby with a 47.6% probability of keeping a clean sheet this game week. I think Griffiths, the goalkeeper, is very popular for West Brom. Luton at home to Plymouth at 45.5. Tranmere at home to Newport at 43.5. Newport always seem to have a goal in them, so maybe that is an avoid for me. Swansea at home to Hull at 41.7. Ipswich at home to Sheffield United at 40%. I think that game is on a Friday, so if you are going for Ipswich defender, maybe use that vice captain trick. It may pay off, you never know. The South Coast derby, Southampton versus Pompey. Southampton come out with a 40% probability of keeping a clean sheet in that game. Interestingly, all the sides in the top 8 are home sides, like Swindon at home to Harrogate at 40% and Bristol Rovers at home to Barrow at 38.5%. Those odds do give us a plethora of options to choose from in this game week. I am looking at Bristol Rovers, Ipswich and West Brom with Griffiths. MK Dons are not on this list. Once again, they weren't in the last game week. They're not in this game week. And Sanders performed really poorly against Grimsby. He didn't get many clearances and they conceded quite a few. So maybe I'm wrong. Maybe Sanders isn't fixture proof. Another tough game coming up for MK Dons. So going for Sanders is an avoid for me. Now those are the odds for the EFL. Let me know what you think of them, if you agree with them or not. I really do like looking at these statistics. It always helps me out in Fantasy EFL. It's gone well for me so far, and I'm going to keep on trusting them until it goes wrong. Finally, moving on to my team selection / first draft for this game week in Fantasy EFL. If you do want to keep up to date with my final team selection, my Twitter will be linked in the description. It will be on there. I'm still going for the 3-2-1 formation. I still prefer it over the 2-3-1. And we'll begin with Griffiths in goal, Derby at home, and a really low ownership. I feel like second tier players are going under the radar a little bit. Managers are looking at the highest scoring players, picking them. That's why they are very popular. But players like Griffiths, for example, who have played less games than Southwood from Bristol Rovers, of course they have less points because they played less games, but they are equally as good assets. As I said, really high clean sheet odds for Griffiths in this game week and 2 clean sheets in 4 appearances. That does fill you with a bit of confidence going into this game week. My defence begins with Kilgore, who I'm looking to captain at this moment in time. A pretty easy fixture against Barrow at home, and Rovers have been on really good form as of late. They've been superb defensively. They are one of the best teams defensively in League 2. And I don't think you can go far wrong with this Kilgore pick. I know a lot of people are going for Southwood or Southam Hills, the wing back. That does make sense as well. But the bonuses are more likely to come for Kilgore. Moving on to Wright, another League 2 defender. Swindon Town, 1.1% selected. That is bizarre to me. Harrogate at home this game week. Again, a pretty decent fixture. And Will Wright is on many set pieces, including penalties. He scored 1 and taken 1 this season. And a defender on penalties against a pretty poor side. That is a must-have for me. My third and final defender playing on that Friday night game is Greaves of Ipswich Town. A difficult game on paper, but Sheffield United have been really poor to start off this season. Again, really low ownership, only 0.9% selected. And if you are looking for someone to captain in that Friday night game, I do recommend Greaves. Moving on to the 2 midfielders, Victor Torp of Coventry. He did save me a couple of games ago with a free kick goal, and his average in the past few games has been phenomenal. In Game Week 5, 13 points, Game Week 4, 16 points, and in Game Week 3, 14 points. That is phenomenal from Victor Torp, and looking at his form, I don't see how you can not pick him really. He is a really good player, as shown by his stats in the last few games, and he seems to be pretty locked in my team. Like Kilgore, ACD is back in my team for the second game week run-in, and I did say in my last video that Bolton were severely underperforming in their expected goals, and I said it was only a matter of time before they start scoring a few. They scored 3 in the last game week, in game week 6, a 13-pointer for ACD as well, with a goal and 3 shots on target. And hopefully that game against Wimbledon means that Bolton are full of confidence going into this game against Leyton Orient, and a confident ACD is one of the best players in the league. 13 key passes, 10 shots on target, 5 interceptions as well in 7 appearances, alongside 3 assists and 1 goal. He is a great pick, and he's got high ownership for a reason. Moving on to my lone striker, Patrick, who would be another player who I picked 2 game weeks running, but for some reason I forgot to put him in my side and had Alfie May in my team instead. That is pretty disappointing because Patrick did get a big haul, but hopefully he does the same in this game week and pays me back a little bit against Newport. I was at Newport's game on Saturday. They looked really poor defensively. Their goalkeeper was miles off it, and Rovers definitely could have scored a few more than the 3 they did score. And like Torp, Patrick has been on some amazing form. 10 points in game week 6, another 10 in game week 5, 12 in game week 4, and 8 in game week 3. Oh, and 13 in game week 2. 5 goals, 2 assists, 10 shots on target, 9 key passes in 6 games this season. And against one of the weaker sides in the division in Newport, Patrick is my favourite forward pick. My 2 team picks are both in League 2 and 2 teams that I haven't picked at all so far this season, so both of them are 0 out of 5. And the Rovers and Swindon pick does mean I'm doubling up on both of their clubs, with Kilgore on right and of course the Rovers team pick and the Swindon team pick, both at home. I prefer picking the home sides because the advantage of being at home is so big, and I do feel pretty confident in these team picks. Last week it didn't go too well for my team picks, but I think these will do fine. Now that is my team. While my first draft, as I said, my final team selection will be on my Twitter, and that does conclude this shorter video. If you have enjoyed, please be sure to like and subscribe. The support does not go unnoticed. My Twitter and mini league link will be in the description. And yet, thank you for watching today's video. I hope it has been informative, and good luck in game week 7.